Once, there was a little girl who lived with her mother in a house at the edge of the forest. The little girl always wore a red cloak and hood that grandmother had made for her. That's why everyone, even her mother, called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said to her,
"Grandmother is not feeling well. I have packed a basket of fruits, cakes, and honeys. Will you take it to her?"
"Yes, Mother."
"Be careful going through the forest and don't play along the way. Grandmother is waiting for you."
"Yes, Mother."
Little Red Riding Hood took the basket and was on her way to grandmother's house. Little Red Riding Hood had gone but in a short way into the forest when a great wolf stepped out behind a tree.
"Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going on this fine day?" "I'm going to grandmother on the other side of the forest. She is ill and I'm bringing her fruits, cakes, and honeys."
"Why not bring her some pretty wildflowers as well? There are so many to pick from here in the forest."
"I cannot stop. Mother said I must not play around along the way."
Picking flowers is not playing around. Besides, a bunch of pretty wildflowers can cheer up your grandmother and feel better.
"Perhaps you are right."
Little Red Riding Hood put down her basket and began to pick wildflowers. Meanwhile, the wolf slipped away and sped to the other side of the forest. When he came to grandmother's cottage, he crept up to the door and knocked.
Who is it?
"It is I, Little Red Riding Hood. I have brought you fruit, cakes, and honey."
Come in, dear. The door is open.
As soon as the wolf was inside, he ran over to the bed and gobbled up Grandmother Hood, leaving only her blanket and nightcap. He put on the nightcap and wrapped himself in the blanket. Then, he crawled into the bed to wait for Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood went in and stood for a moment in the doorway.
Who is it?
"It is I, Little Red Riding Hood. I brought you fruits, cakes, and honeys, and a bunch of pretty wildflowers to cheer you."
Come in. The door is open.
"Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have!"
The better to hear you with, my dear. Come closer.
"Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have!"
The better to see you with, my dear. Come closer.
"Oh, grandmother, what big teeth you have!"
The better to eat you with.
Now, it happened that the woodcutter was passing grandmother's cottage just then. He knew the old woman had been feeling poorly, and he decided to look in on her. When he saw the wolf snoring on the bed, he knew at once what had happened.
I have you at last, you devil!
The woodcutter slew the wolf with his axe. Then, the woodcutter took a carving knife and very carefully he slit open the wolf's belly. Out popped Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, safe and whole, just as the wolf had swallowed them.
Oh, grandmother, how happy I am to see you.
And I'm happy to see you, child. Come on, let's eat.
Grandmother gave Little Red Riding Hood a hug. Then, Little Red Riding Hood, Grandmother, and the woodcutter sat down to feast on fruit, cakes, and honey. They all lived happily from that day on, never to be troubled by the wicked wolf again.
And I see your true colors shining through. And I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors, true colors are shining through. And I see your true like a rainbow. Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want. Little Red Riding Hood, I don't think little big girls should go walking in these spooky old woods alone. What big eyes you have, the kind of eyes that drive wolves mad. Just to see that you don't get chased, I think I ought to walk with you for a ways. What full lips you have, they're sure to lure someone bad. So until you get to Grandma's place, I think you ought to walk with me and be safe. I'm gonna keep my sheep suit on till I'm sure that you've been shown that I can be trusted walking with you alone. Little Red Riding